Hey friends! Happy Saturday, you guys. I'm so I'm so happy you guys decided to join me here. I'm hoping that I'm coming through pretty well for you. Today's going to be pretty interesting because I'm at one of my new construction listings, and I thought I would take this opportunity to answer some questions that I've received recently from some interested parties that are thinking about buying a home. So I'm gonna wait maybe a minute or two to get some more people in the live before we get started. I just want to say welcome. Thank you so much for being here. And as I mentioned to you earlier, I'm hoping that I am coming across very clear to you. And yeah, I'm happy that you guys decided to join me. Don't forget to say hello in the comment section below. Let's see. I hope you guys are doing well. Don't forget to say hello. Happy Saturday to you guys. Happy Saturday. Trying to get everything set up here. And don't forget to let me know where you are watching from. Always love to know who I'm chatting with. Let's see. Got my other one set up here. Yeah, I always like to know who I'm chatting with, and you know where you're watching me from, and you know what's happening. All right, let me get set up. Hi friends on Instagram that's watching me as well too. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I got both sets of my peeps here. So let me get these questions pulled up. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me on a Saturday. You know, I've been posting a lot of the day in the life of a realtor videos lately, and you guys get to see me out here in these streets. Sometimes my face is super greasy. But hey, that comes with the territory, right? Oh gosh. Well, let me know where you're watching from. Trying to get these questions open here. If you're curious, I'm at a new construction listing that I currently have on the market. It's so pretty. This one has 3 bedrooms. It has 3 bedrooms and 2 full bathrooms. It also has a metal roof. It has granite countertops. Right behind me, you see this big, huge island, which is so nice and awesome. And yeah, I've really been enjoying being able to be a part of this process and getting this home sold. I just put the home next to me under contract, and we still have this baby right here that we will be offloading very, very soon. So if you're interested, make sure you reach out and just let me know. So look, this is FYI. I forgot my glasses. So if you see me squinting at this, oh gosh, if you see me squinting at this screen, that is why I forgot my glasses, but I'm gonna make it happen here. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and get into the first question that I have gotten lately, or all the time, pretty much throughout my career. Which is, how much of a down payment do I need? Now, it really, that's an open-ended question, because it really just depends on the type of product that you're purchasing. The type of product that you are using to, hi everyone, I can't see you because I'm a little bit far away and I don't have my glasses on, but I just want to send my love to everybody that, joined. But back to the question, how much of a down payment do you need? Typically, typically a lot of people think that you need 20% of a down payment, to put down on a home. And that is very much dependent on the type of loan product that you choose to use. All loan products don't require that you put a down payment down. And also, it really also depends on your financial standing, as far as like your credit score, and just factoring in what type of monthly payment you're going to be wanting to stay within. All of those factor into how much of a down payment you would need to use. That's why you would need to have. That's why I definitely encourage anyone that reaches out to me to definitely reach out to a lender first before you even start looking at homes. That way you won't you won't be like a deer in headlights after your offer is accepted and you don't know what's happening in the next part of the process. Because, back in the day when I was a brand new realtor, I didn't explain that fully to my clients, I'm gonna be honest with you. And some of them got sticker shock when they got their calculations together and factored in how much their monthly payment was going to be. It was just kind of like everybody was speaking foreign language to them, and I didn't do a service to them by advising them to reach out to a financial advisor first, or a lender, just to have that conversation so everyone can be on the same sheet of music and we all can be realistic about your home purchase. So that's my answer to the first question, which is, how much of a down payment do you need? It's wide, it's open-ended, depends on you in some cases. Okay, the next one is, what are the different types of mortgage loans available? So the major ones are the FHA loans, VA loans, you have your conventional loans, you have your construction, not construction loans, but rehabilitation loans. Those are the ones that I can think of right offhand. And then, by partnering with a lender in your community, or talking with a lender in your community, they can tell you about other perks that are available as well too. So, as far as coupling with that type of mortgage loan that you are going to be having to make whatever package of lending that you choose to go with more attractive and more feasible for you. So that's another lender question. Okay, the next one is, how do I get pre-approved for a mortgage? So what you need to do is reach out to that lender that your realtor is recommending you to talk with, and other friends or family, if they've already went through the process and they have a great relationship with the lender. Just have that conversation, and they'll let you know what you need to have. But the main thing is, you need to have at least 2 years worth of financial history as far as work is concerned. There shouldn't be a long break in your time frame that you are receiving consistent income. And a lender will talk with you more about, well, a mortgage professional will talk with you more about the other particulars with that. You also need to definitely have a credit score that would qualify you for the loan that you're looking for. You also need to talk with someone about your debt to income ratio, because even if your credit score is great, your debt to income also plays a factor depending on the type of, the amount of a home that you're trying to purchase. So all of that factors in, but the good rule of thumb is to reach out to a mortgage professional, and they'll go over your process with you. Well, the process with you, but what I'm trying to say is your process is completely tailored to what your financial position is. The next question I get is, what are the closing costs and how much should I budget for them? So closing costs are the fees associated with producing the loan and doing the title paperwork and everything else that goes in, that's involved in actually turning that home over from the seller to the buyer. And that is also inclusive of the insurance as well too, and the attorney's fees as well. So and also well, I'm not even going to talk about that because, the process has changed since August 17th of this year as far as your buyer's agency agreement that you'll complete. But that's also a conversation that you would have with your realtor that's going to be representing you if you have someone representing you in the transaction. So that part of it is a factor as well too now. But what you can do is when you are presenting an offer to purchase, you can also ask the seller to cover some of those costs for you. And in my area that I service, typically the sellers are willing to assist with your closing costs, but don't be alarmed. A lot of them are not going to pay your complete closing costs. So you need to, before you even get out there and start touring homes or whatever, you need to have a really good conversation with a real estate professional to let you know what to expect, because your closing costs are completely separate from your down payment for your home. They don't encompass into one, although all of it might come out of one bank account. So, but your closing costs can vary. It can be as little as $3,000 all the way up to, I don't know, a lot. A lot. But that's something that you would need to have a conversation with your real estate professional concerning. But it's normally, normally a buyer will normally a buyer, if the loan is requiring them to put a down payment down, they'll put anywhere from like 10 to 20% down for the loan product. And then separately, there's a certain percentage that goes along with your closing costs and administration fees. So they're not going to be $1,000. They're, unless you negotiate them down and have the seller cover something like that. So I'm hoping that the way I answered that will give you a broader picture, so you know what to prepare for if you're new to, buying and selling, buying a home or property. So it says here, home search and viewing. What should I prioritize when choosing a home? Well, what you should prioritize when choosing a home is really particular to your needs. You don't want to get a big grand home if it's not going to be feasible for you to enjoy every part of that home, because to me it seems like that would be wasted money. However, you don't want to get something that is not going to be comfortable for yourself and your lifestyle. So you have to really consider the pros and cons, and it's okay for you to have a checklist as to what you can negotiate, what you can live with and what you can't live without, and that would help you determine what type of home that's going to be best for you. And it says, how many homes should I view before making an offer? I definitely do not encourage you to go out here and look at 10, 15 homes all at one time, because if you are looking, actively looking in the market, yeah, you might look at a lot of properties, but the reality of it is it really doesn't take that much to find the home that's going to be suitable for you. Because if you approach it with the aspect of, okay, I love this home, it may not have this, but I can do this in the future to it, but this will work, then you're going to find the home that suits you or that fits you without having to drag the process on and on and on and submit offers and, and just leave leave the process after you go into contract because you're having cold feet. So you need to approach the home buying process with give and take. And you also don't need to overwhelm yourself with doing all these showings and going out and touring properties, because it does become, your brain will actually become mentally burned out with it, and all the properties are pretty much going to look the same to you. And then it's going to be much more frustrating. You're going to have anxiety. So a good amount of properties that I would say to look at would be at least in person, would be at least maybe six if you're really being serious about it. And I would give yourself the time frame to purchase, to actually make a decision on a property, about 30 days. Because like I said, if you drag the process on, it's just not going to be as exciting anymore. And you're really just going to, the further you get into the process, you're going to start critiquing more and more of properties that, are just, could be a good fit for you in the future as far as you're doing the upgrades to them. But if you're just looking at so many properties and you're not finding the one, all of them are going to just start becoming stale to you, and you're just going to be frustrated with the entire process. So don't overload yourself. The next question that I have is, what should I look for during a home tour? So the things you need to look at is how much natural light comes into the home. You also need to look at the position of the home as far as the location. How close is it to the amenities that you're interested in? How far away is it from, how far away is it from other things? Like, I'm speaking from my own experience. I'm more of a person that would, prefer residing in the city or being around a community, but some of you might enjoy being more so in a rural area. So you have to factor that, and also you have to factor in the commute time and also budgeting for that. Time budgeting as well as financial budgeting for the commute. So without even getting into the house, that's one of the things you need to also look for. You also need to think about whether or not the appliances are going to come with a home. If the appliances are coming with a home, look at them for sure and be like, hey, should I move forward with accepting these appliances, or should I just ask for the seller to remove them prior to closing? Another thing you need to think about is whether or not you have to do a lot of landscaping. If you're a person like me who just enjoys looking at other people's yards but could care less about their own, then don't get something where you're going to have a major task of upkeep, especially if it's not something that you're interested in. On the flip side, if you're looking at a property that doesn't have a lot of that area for you to do, create your own oasis as far as when you're coming into your home, or create that great curb appeal that you're looking for in a property, then you need to factor that in as well too. You also need to consider the upgrades that you're going to have to make to the home to get it to where you need it to be. Like if you're looking at a 3-bedroom home, however, you're really needing a 4th bedroom, Consider the cost of whether or not it really is feasible for you to add on that fourth bedroom, or can you live without that fourth bedroom, you know? And also, if you're looking at a home that only has like a living room, dining room, kitchen area, doesn't have that open space for you to congregate without it just being your living room, if that's a big deal to you, consider that as well too, and see if you can, if there's another area that you can make for that. I work from home, so what would be important to me is finding a home office area. And if there's not a home office area in a property, then I'm just not gonna, I wouldn't even move forward with the purchase or a space that would work for me. So you got to think about that before you just get into looking at properties and just looking at the aesthetics of it, that it's really, really pretty and everything's brand new. Is it really, really going to be functional for you? Like, okay, case in point, this big island behind me. If you are a person that enjoys entertaining, loves to cook, and just enjoys being in the kitchen, oh my gosh, you're gonna fall in love with this. Every morning you're gonna come in there and you're just gonna do this to your island and just love on it and just be like, dang, I got an island in my kitchen. I'm so happy. But if you're a person like me that kind of sort of cares about cooking but is more so interested in eating, then you're gonna look at that island space as, okay, this is a good spot for me to set up my laptop and do my work while I'm getting a cup of coffee or while I'm putting some in the microwave. So you gotta kind of take all that into consideration, what is really important in a house to you and what is not. All right, let's see. And what question should I ask the seller? The number one thing you should ask the seller is, what is broken in here? Okay, give me the real. What did you recently have to repair in this house? I really want to know. And you may not even be able to ask the seller right up front, so I don't even know. Well, I do know why that's there, is because people are curious as to how that works. We have in Louisiana what's called a property disclosure. And I advise all of my sellers to fill out that property disclosure completely, okay? So there's no questions. And fill it out with incomplete sentences. So a buyer would know what they're walking into. Because the worst thing you want to happen is to go into contract and then the buyer figures out that what this paper says is not what really is happening in this house. There's electrical problems, there's a water leak, that was noticeable, but it was repaired previously, but the owner has owned the house for like 45 years. I mean, stuff like that you already know. So I encourage all of my sellers to put that on their disclosure. And what you need to do as a buyer is you need to ask for that agent to show you that property disclosure before you even submit an offer. That way you're not going in blindly, because you have to pay a home inspector to complete the process of inspecting the home as well too after you go into contract. So just keep that in mind. Okay, making an offer. How do I ask if the price is fair? So if you're asking, to figure out whether or not your offering price is fair, you always need to consult with your realtor. Your realtor needs to be presenting you with data to back up the numbers, okay? And what I advise you, without going into complete detail, do not come in with a ridiculous number that is going to be insulting to a seller. What would I consider as a ridiculous number? You coming in at $75,000 below the asking price. Why are you giving that number, Tara? Because I've had it happen. I've had it happen. And let's just say I advise, but it is also up to my clients as to how they're going to proceed in a transaction. So I advised, they decided to still move forward with that number, and of course it was immediately rejected. So don't waste your time doing that, because sellers do not have to counter, they do not have to negotiate, and they do not even have to, they can acknowledge, their agent has to acknowledge the receipt of your offer but you don't ever have to hear from them again. And when you do things like that, the seller really doesn't consider you as a serious buyer, so they just move on to people that are interested, or they just continue to wait for someone who is interested in their property. Let's see, I'm almost done here. What factors should I consider before making an offer? The location, how long the property has been on the market, what the current market trends are, and also, what is your budget? Like really, if you're at the maximum of your budget and then you're also putting in a lowball offer, and then you're at a point where you don't know how you're going to be able to pay your closing costs because you have to take care of your down payment, then you got to consider whether or not you even should be moving forward with presenting an offer. Because if you come in lower than the asking price and significantly lower than the asking price, the seller is going to, if they decide to counter you, they're going to come back at a price that's going to work for them. And you need to be prepared for that, or else you're going to suffer heartbreak because the deal's not going to go through. And the last question is, what is earnest money and how much should I put down? So, not every transaction requires earnest money. Some sellers ask for the buyer to put up earnest money just to take their property off of the market, and also to recoup some of the costs of maintaining the property while that buyer is considering purchasing the home. And that money is held, and there is a process that your realtor will go through with you in order, that needs to be followed in order for you to receive your earnest money back. Again, that's not in every transaction, but some transactions, the sellers will require you to put up some earnest money as well too. So you see how the numbers are adding up here? You got your cost of your closing costs for one. You also have your cost of whether or not you're required to put down earnest money. And you also have your down payment, your closing costs. Then you also have costs for your inspections. And you also have costs for your buyer's agent. And I'm just talking about the real estate side of things. And then life is going to come into play. Of course, when you move in, you're going to have to furnish the property, and you're going to have to do some other things to the property to make that property your oasis. So don't enter into the home buying process blindly, because at the end of the day, you are undertaking a huge financial commitment and transaction. Everyone involved in the process needs to be open and transparent to you. If you feel like you are not receiving enough information from your agent, then you need to have that conversation with them and say, hey, I'm not understanding what this, and this is. And make sure that there's an open line of communication between your agent and your lender as well too. That way the process will go smoother. Things will be, it will be less question marks. I'm not going to say everything is going to be super easy, especially if this is your first time purchasing a property. However, I am going to say that knowing is half of the battle, and it'll calm some of the fears and stressors that you may have, because you're entering into a world that you don't function in every day. So anyway, again, as I mentioned to you at the beginning of this live, I do apologize if you guys have been commenting and saying hello. I love you guys so much, but as you can see, I do not have my glasses on. I have my devices a little further away from me, so I can't really read the questions. But you guys know that I always put up my contact info. It's all over my page here, so you can reach out to me directly with those one-on-one questions. And also, while this property is on the market, if you would like a private tour, also reach out to me. I'd love to schedule a consultation appointment with you and also complete a private tour of the property. If there's any realtors out there that are watching this video, I am also accepting referral clients at the moment. So if you need assistance within the Fort Johnson area, just feel free to reach out to me. Again, my contact information is on this profile here. So anyway, I love you guys so much. Thank you for spending your Saturday with me, and I will see you soon. Bye.